And we're live. All right, everybody. Welcome. This is the first Adult Fantasy live drawing show. I am Todd, your host, your buddy, your friend, your guide to this weird world of comics and animation. Hey, here we go. That's right. Let's see. Mayo says, "Ayo, what's up, man? How are you? Welcome. I appreciate you showing up." I'm never going to be able to pronounce your name. Carrie, awesome. Welcome. This is me doing my best to pronounce syllables. All right. Hey, Flint's here. Awesome, Flint. Flint is actually our one of the dev on the project. So a lot of the cool stuff that we have coming out is because of him and Melissa, who also goes by Shiraboom. So Flint and Shiraboom are the rock stars of the group. Carrots, okay. So we'll call carrots. Right on, carrots. Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. So here's what we're going to do tonight. Let me give you a backstory, actually, real quick, to why we're doing this, what we got planned, what we're thinking about. So as you guys know, I mean, you're coming from the Discord, so you know we have this project coming out soon in October called Adult Fantasy. And this is something that we have put a tremendous amount of work into. We actually started working on this project in like the beginning of April. So we started talking about it in the end of February. No, we started talking about it in March and then actively started working on it, I think, at the end of March. So time flies. I started out as a tiny thing, and then we got inventive and figured out a whole bunch of stuff and decided to create something actually new, because we looked at the space, and with all the PFP stuff and there were some amazing projects out there like Bored Ape Yacht Club and Punk's comic is amazing. Like there's so many things out there. We were like, well, how can we stand apart? What can we do different? What is it in our background that can make us stand out? And so we took the idea of technology, which we're really heavy on the technology side with our group between Shiraboom and Flint, and combined that with my background in animation and comics, and then of course with Paco's background in screenwriting and acting and coaching, and the guy's a phenomenal world builder and storyteller. We said we have something that we think we have some magic sauce here. We think we have something that could really be different and really stand out, and most importantly, stand the test of time, because it became really apparent to us. Certainly, there's a lot of exceptions to the rule, but I think we all know that there's a lot of projects out there that are just not going to be around in a couple of years. And everybody in our group, we're a little older. I've been doing this 25 plus years. Plan to do it for at least another 25 more. I'll be chained to this desk until I die. But I enjoy it. You know what I mean? I mean, you can purely see behind me my art studio and all the books and comics. And I got Stan Lee over there keeping me company. That's actually from a shoot, like a little prop from a thing we did with him. But so I'm going to be here for a long time. We're all going to be here for a long time. And so, yeah, we really decided, instead of busting something out in 1 month or 2 months, that we were actually going to put a hell of a lot of time and effort and work into it to make something that would be kick ass and something that could really make a statement and change things. What do I mean by that? Just so you guys know, especially with my background in animation and comics, it's an awesome industry. It also has its issues. One of the issues is that creators are kind of at the bottom of the totem pole. And there are reasons for that. I can't say that there aren't good reasons for that. I mean, you have to have people running a business, and business people do business things, and the artists do art things. But as time has progressed, it has become more and more difficult for the creator to actually stand up and stand out and be their own person. And the world of NFTs and crypto and smart contracts allows the artist, allows the creator to go out on their own and make something and grow a base of fans and customers that can help grow the brand. And more importantly, not just support the brand, or the projects, but actually be a part of it, right? We all know about DAOs and all the other crazy stuff that's going on out there. So it actually allows for the chance to build something organic that can grow. And so with that, we saw an opportunity. We looked at things like Disney and Marvel and said, that's a real old dinosaur model, and we think we can bust it up. Does that mean we're going to beat Disney and Marvel? No. Does that mean we can be an alternative in a few years? Yeah, absolutely we can. I worked at Marvel, I worked at Cartoon Network, and so I know how it works inside. And I think that gives me a little bit of inside baseball as to, when you know how things work, you also know some of the things that they don't do well or may not do at all because they have no interest in it. So I think that gives us the ability to really take advantage of that, do something completely brand new, startup like, and create the next Marvel universe, right? Create our own universe, something bigger than any individual could actually do. I think we can do that together. So, hey, Ruby, that Ruby Thursday, that is Shiraboom / Melissa. She actually does streaming as well. Some of you might have checked out her live coding stream, Ruby Thursday. She's going to be streaming tomorrow night as well. So if you guys are just want to hang out with her while she actually codes, so you're actually going to get to see how we code the front end. I think she's going to be developing the front end for Adult Fantasy. So you can hop in and check that out. We're trying to be transparent and open and want you guys involved. And with that said, I'm going to share my screen. Enough talking. I'm going to share my screen and start drawing so you guys can see. I've got this character for you tonight. It's going to be really, really interesting. I also have a special guest. So I wasn't sure how this was going to go because this is my first. I've done tons of live streams before, but never a drawing stream. And one of the challenges with drawing is I don't know what the hell to talk about. Usually when I'm drawing, it's just quiet and I'm pumping music or it's like watching YouTube or something. Certainly you guys can pipe in. I'm here to answer questions, but I was like, I want to make this great. So for the very first Adult Fantasy live drawing stream, I have a special guest. I'm going to pull him up right now. I'm going to unmute his mic, even though it's actually kind of fun to be able to mute him every now and then. It won't let me unmute your mic. That's fine. I'll just pull it up here. Push on to. Let's see.
I can unmute my own mic.
Oh, there he goes. Well, hello. So everybody, please welcome. This is Andrew from Misfit Corner Comics. Andrew also hosts his own live stream. He's been doing this a long time. So quick background. Andrew is a comic artist. If you've been to New York Comic Con at any point in the last decade, you probably know Andrew. He's phenomenal. He's one of the best sketch artists I've ever seen. I love him to death. This is where I embarrass him.
It's okay.
And more important than that, two big things. One, I've known this guy for, I'm not going to mention the number of years, more years than we should talk about. And we came up drawing together, and we still draw pretty much every week together. We hang out all the time together. And he also owns his own comic shop in Jacksonville, Florida. Where is that comic shop, bud?
Jacksonville, Florida.
It's somewhere in the city of Jacksonville. Great.
It is. It's a very small shop at one of the flea markets off of Beach Boulevard, and I've been there a little over 2 years and absolutely love it. So it's awesome. My haven away from everything. But yeah,
it's an awesome shop. So if you're ever in Florida or you ever want to stop in Jacksonville, it's absolutely, even if you're not wanting to stop in Jacksonville, because who does? It's worth stopping in the city to go by his shop because his comic shop is freaking awesome. No new comics, all old school stuff. Best deal, and that's pretty much the only place I shop anymore because it's the best deals ever. So, Ruby Thursday says her show is going to be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So it's Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I hope you guys can show up. And hang out and enjoy. So, all right. So I'm going to share. This is where I get nervous because I'm like, man, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. So let's see what we're going to work on tonight. I'm going to add to stream. Let's do this. Right. So
now for you all out there, I've actually been on a stream with Todd, and it wasn't it wasn't a broadcast stream. It was just us sitting around chit-chatting while he drew. And he created probably one of the funniest, most hilarious characters I've ever seen. And this one is right up there with him. So this should be interesting.
This is good.
So
I'm gonna give you guys, since you guys are here, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So let me give you a little zoom in here. So this is the Rays. So the Rays, they're essentially the cops in our universe. So basically what these guys do is they're slightly paramilitary. They're very flamboyant, red, white, and blue all the way. And they are your classic, what can I say? It's like your trope of, like you ever see a superhero and there's like surrounded by 50 cops or dozens of stormtroopers, and all of a sudden, like the Jedi gets through the stormtroopers, the superhero just bowls over all of the cops, and you're like, how do these dunces, like, how come stormtroopers can't shoot straight, or why can't these superheroes like actually like get this guy? These are the guys, right? So there's tons of them, but they're not necessarily, they're the guys that are going to get thrown all over the place, right? Influence, I got really, so one of my favorite movies of all time is Flash Gordon. So I straight up looked at Flash Gordon and some of the other things. And just so you see the big, it looks like a medallion on his chest, and right now it has like a little rubber duck. Yeah, I'll zoom in so you can see it on stream here. So you see in the center, he's got like a nice little rubber duck. Well, what this is it's a flat screen. It's a monitor. And so while these kind of freaky, terrifying guys are like coming after you, telling you to like, use the sidewalk or use a crosswalk, or, don't do this or don't do that. You have these really calming ads that are placed like, hello, citizen, gently obey our commands, like really subtle, and like, wouldn't you like a nice walk on the beach? So they're showing you all of these like calming, psychologically calming images to try to calm you down, while they're also like looking like freaking terrifying, yet not totally threatening. So it's kind of like a weird composite. And then the thing we thought of is that, like, at the times where they're not showing you like calming imagery to make you less aggressive, it's actually like ads. So just straight up advertisements, like they're walking billboards. If you've ever been to New York City and you hop into the back of a cab, you'll see like they always have like flat screen monitors, and they're always showing you ads for stuff. And it's almost impossible to turn those damn things off. Carrot says, looking for any murder deaths. Yeah, totally. Tucker says, yes. Hey, Yoko says, love it. Awesome. Right. Oh, Flint says, glad we're doing this one. Yeah, man, it was hard. It was like, what do I pick? It's a challenge to like figure out which one we're going to do. So, yeah, so I'm going to work on this. Andrew, we want me to split screen, and we'll,
does your audience know how demented you are? Because they're getting ready to find out. So
yeah. So one thing we should know, if you don't know, I have a rule, and that's like, I'm not very PC, but I also try not to completely offend. But you got to have a sense of humor about stuff. I mean, if I'm confident that people are either going to love this or hate it, and that's okay. Like people that it's just not for them. I totally get it. He gives me Tucker Mayo says that he gives me a Carl from Aqua Teens vibe. Yeah, absolutely. I could totally see that. Nick Cheesy says, whoa, never knew you made PBS Kids bumpers back in the year 1990. Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, I did a bunch of those. I've been putting those up in our Discord. I think I put one or two of those up in Discord now. I'm Andrew, I don't know if you know, but I've been posting some from the animation vault every other day or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Flint says, I do. Awesome.
Very nice.
Right on. So let's do this. I'm going to split screen so we can both share. This is actually my first StreamYard. So I'm gonna split share like this. How can I do both of our
Well, you're working on your computer, so you would share your screen. But the only thing that I could do, I can't.
You can switch your camera, right?
Right, but it wouldn't be like split screen with your shared screen.
Got it.
Only be split screen with you.
Got it. Okay, so let's do this. So I'll keep the split screen with me up, and if you want to use your camera to draw, and then we'll just start. I'll switch. So
well, for the moment, I'm just going to watch you and commentate.
Okay. Great. We'll do the play-by-play. That's great. That works too. Yeah. So Andrew and I, we talk nerd quite a bit. So if anyone, feel free to jump in. I will every couple minutes try to look over at the
I'll keep an eye on the chat for you. You just do your thing.
Right on.
Okay.
So what's going on in the comic world, Andrew?
Well, just so everybody knows here, we talked about this slightly for a minute or two. When it comes to drawing streams, you really need to have one person that's either narrating or talking or reading the chat or answering questions while the other person draws. But you can have multiple people drawing. That's perfectly fine, but you need to have a talker. Now, Todd can talk. He can talk and talk and talk, but he wants to do drawing tonight. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of a break, so I can help.
Right on.
And if it gets really, really quiet, I can start telling stories of some of our adventures in high school.
Oh, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Yeah, so if anybody also has any questions about like what I'm actually doing or tools or why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, like I'm totally down to like. All
right, what application are you using to draw in right now?
So this is Adobe Animate, formerly known as Flash.
Okay.
So I'm like, I was just by coincidence or not coincidence, I don't know, but as it so turns out, like, so I was really fortunate to be the director on the music video, the very first Flash animated broadcast video. So before that, everyone was doing traditional. I was doing traditional, and no one had ever done Flash. And Adobe Animate before it was Adobe Animate was Macromedia Flash. So we got it on. It was a Roots video for the hip hop band The Roots, and it did really well. Won a bunch of awards, which was really cool. And what the crazy thing that I never thought would happen is that everybody started using Flash to create cartoons and animation. I know there's like, people use Toon Boom now and some other things, but Flash / Adobe Animate is still really widely used. And so, I'm so used to it right now.
Right.
Maybe one day I'll switch because I kind of feel the urge to try,
I've never actually used Flash or Animate. I've always used Photoshop and what's the other one? I'm blanking. English is not my first language here. What's the other one that we commonly use? Come on, help me out here.
That we commonly use?
Yes. The one that we use for lettering.
Oh, Illustrator.
Illustrator. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Cathis, K-C-A-R-Y-T, Carrots. Oh, okay. Asks, did you do this up by hand on paper first?
No. So that's a great question. So I drew this. Zoom out for you. So I actually drew this first in Photoshop. Again, I actually, you can't see, but over here to my left, I have my animation table. So I still do a tons of like traditional drawing. I actually prefer it. I'm actually quicker at it. But I'm faster at drawing on paper and inking on paper, but that speed of drawing and creating on paper slows down drastically when I have to it always has to be transferred to computer now. So,
Right.
you know, it's either like get a scanner out, wait for the scan, get it everything, or just draw it in Photoshop. So for this, I drew in Photoshop, um, and then exported it as a JPEG, like a really simple JPEG, and then dropped it in to Flash. So you can see, I'm going to call it Flash. I know it's called Animate, but it's just force of habit. So
That's
I have
fine.
I have it on a bottom layer down here.
Tucker Mayo says, "Oh wow." Taxil says, "What's up, guys? The Flash days
Hey.
shockwave." Flint
Yes.
says, "Illustrator question mark." So he was trying to help me out there.
Yep.
I appreciate it. And then Tucker Mayo says, "Flash on Newgrounds was the definition of my childhood."
Dude, right? Like Newgrounds broke so much ground. So Newgrounds, they did such good work. There was they had was Newgrounds? You can help me out with this. You know your stuff. Did Newgrounds? Did they have the Icebox? Do you remember Icebox? It was a bunch of animated shorts. I think it was on Newgrounds. That it was like their first attempt to try to make animate, like actual full animated, like an animated show. Everyone was having problems with it, the stuff though, because like the file sizes were so big. I mean, comparatively, you know. But there was a show on Icebox, and I think it made it to Newgrounds. Maybe that was what happened. That was, man, to this day, I mean, in my head, it was like super good. I'm sure if I saw it, it would be like awful. But yeah, Newgrounds was great.
Yeah, see, that was one of the advantages to going to college. I missed that whole scene. The introduction of Photoshop and the Flash and all the digital stuff. I was still drawing by hand the entire time you guys were off at college and learning all these new techniques and tips, tricks, and
yeah, you say that, but that's
out.
not. No, you didn't miss out, dude. Like that was like I didn't learn any of this stuff in college. Are you kidding? I was a painting major. Like I was in a paint stall, using oils and acrylics, and like I knew how to like. I knew nothing. This was all after college.
Yeah, but I still stayed away from all that stuff too.
Well, that was the thing. You stayed away from it. I tried. I did. Like I was. I actually went. I took like some classes like after college because I was like, holy crap! Like all my friends were starting to make money. They were starting to make money in graphic design and stuff like that, and they were making. To me at the time, it was like so much. And I had no clue how to do it. So I did like almost like summer school, even though I'd already graduated. I wasn't doing it for credits because I already had the degree. But like I would go into to learn Photoshop, and the professor / teacher had the book. He had gone to Barnes and Noble or something and just like gotten the book. And was like learning along with me. And I was like, you can't. Like I'd ask him a question and he'd be like, and he would go to the glossary and try to figure it out. And then it would always be another student that would be like, yeah, dude, you just have to do this. I was like, why am I paying this guy? Like, okay. So it didn't last too long.
Now, what you're doing right now, are you outlining the character?
Yeah. So that's a good question.
Because it's a very bold, thick line that you're using. So I'm assuming you're just doing the outline so far.
Yeah. In fact, all right, I'll show you. You guys want to see a secret? Okay, I'll show you a secret real quick.
Oh boy!
I'm gonna hopefully not totally screw up my stream here. All right, so I'm gonna show you. That's a great.
So so you know, Carrot says makes sense. I have no skill in this area, but my daughter does. So good to know. And then Nick Cheese came in and said, "Pay Gooey May." I'm assuming that's code for something.
I have no idea, but I'm putting it up on screen because it's funny. In fact, I'll show you the other thing later, but because I really don't want to. I'm totally scared about screwing up the stream. But so that's a good question. So what I'm doing for these characters is I start with a thicker outline. So it's actually I don't know if you can see here on the right side. It's a the stroke size is 3.
Yep.
What that does is gives me like a nice kind of a decent. I mean, it doesn't look thick from back here, but like you said, like up close, it's actually a pretty thick line.
Right.
And then in the inside, once I do the outline first, and then I work in the inside. In the inside, I'll start to do like I'll show you. Like if I was to work on this arm, I move it down to a 2,
and
I'll do like kind of something like that. Just kind of line them up. Again, this stuff is super painstaking, so it's just I don't know. I probably should just do it in ink, but it looks so good when it's done, and it's a vector. But here, so I'll just match all this stuff up because I'm anal. And then what I'll do is I'll go to my brush, and the brush I usually just have this nice new brush over here, and I just kind of set the size doesn't totally matter for me because it's based on pressure, but I usually keep it around 10 or 15, and then what I can do is I can just like kind of add. I don't know why it's doing that. This kind of sucks, but usually it doesn't totally delete my other line, but then I can kind of pull it and kind of make that right. Yep. And then for small details, I'll come in and I'll do a 1.5. And if I want to come in here.
Tucker Mayo has another really good question. Are you doing this part with a mouse keyboard or on a tablet?
Tablet. Yeah. So I actually have a kind of like a trusty old Wacom tablet.
Yep.
Wacom, I've never known how to say it. I've always called it Wacom. So yeah, I just use a digital pen right here, and I've got like just a flat tablet. I don't even use like a Cintiq, which is like drawing on the screen. I'm just so used to it, having the tablet over here and kind of like hand-eye coordination, like looking at the screen. Yep. That's probably going to change because I'm starting to jones after 30 years. I'm jonesing for an actual digital tablet.
You know what's killing me is in the move so far, I have somehow misplaced my tablet pen, and I have 2 of them because I misplaced one time, so I ordered a new one and paid for a whole new one, and then found the old one, so I had 2 of them, and now I can't find either one of them. So,
dude.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, so Andrew just moved to this new spot.
Yeah,
and so his setup is not 100% yet, but he has actually. Your setup is always really cool. Like he built an overhead. What do you call it? It's like a cage.
Well, no, it's just a PVC pipe rig that I screwed into the drawing table so that I can add different attachments to it, and I have cameras and microphones and so forth that I can add to it, rearrange, move to different spots, and do different things with it. So Tucker says, love Wacom tablets. Good old reliable. LOL.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. In fact, I have a weird problem. I don't know why it's doing that tonight. Look at that. That's kind of crazy. I actually have a problem in that, I'm fortunate and I kind of take care of the stuff, my stuff. So I have tablets. I only have 2. I've only used 2 tablets my entire life. I've got this one and I've got another one. They both still work perfectly. The problem is that Wacom does not like that. They want things.
No, they want you to buy a new one.
They want me to buy a new one. So like the other tablet that I have, it's like it works, but now the driver doesn't work. So all of a sudden the driver doesn't work, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I'll just go get a new driver, and they don't provide the driver anymore.
Yep, I can believe it.
Now, granted, I can't completely complain because that tablet it was like their first one. Like it's I've had it for a long time, but it still works, and it does exactly what I need it to do. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So I'm like, well, why do I need to, buy a new one. It works fine.
You need to draw faster.
I do. I know. Or draw better, draw more.
Carrot says, I have a Microsoft Surface Pro with a pen. Should see if I could rig it up to do something similar.
Oh, yeah.
Wacom should have designated a crappier product. Jokes on them. Or designed a crappier product. Jokes on them.
Yeah, I know. Like that's the problem with quality. Yeah, I think Flint has a what do you call it? A Surface Pro or something.
Right. My wife has one. I don't think she uses it she uses it as just a regular computer, so she doesn't use it for any of the good stuff.
You just use a mouse. It's horrible. Yeah, dude, I know some people, or dudette. I don't know, but I know some people that like use the mouse to do all their work, and I'm like, how? I do not understand. I don't get it. It's mad props though. If you can do it, like, holy smokes, like it's so hard.
That's why I stick to 90 to 95% straight pen and ink.
That's true.
Yeah, Avery, I've seen some of the stuff he does, and I look at it and I go, now tell me, is that hand-drawn or digital? And he'll tell me it's digital. I'm like just blown away. Yeah,
Avery's great. Like, you guys will meet Avery too. Avery is another good friend, known him forever. Avery's done work for Image Comics. He's done stuff for Heavy Metal, White Wolf. I don't know. I felt like we had Avery is amazing. But I figure we'll save that for another night. But yeah, what that guy can do with Photoshop is freaking incredible.
Yeah,
it really is. Like he's kind of like if you guys have ever seen, I don't know if I should compare him to Ashley Wood. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative.
Some circles.
I love Ashley Wood's art. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ashley Wood, but yeah. Avery certainly, like, I wouldn't say he draws or creates like Ashley Wood, but he knows his tools, like Photoshop
techniques
and stuff
and so forth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he knows his techniques in the same way that Ashley Wood. You know what I'm saying? Like Ashley Wood clearly uses Photoshop and stuff, but he's got like a style to it, right? Avery has a style, which I think is awesome.
Flint says, "Yep, got a Surface Book for drawing. Not very good at drawing, but the tablet is great." Yeah, Avery's one of those kind of guys where when you look at it, you have to ask yourself, is that digital or was that hand-drawn? Because he's that good at doing it.
Right.
Whereas me, it's simple. It's all hand-drawn.
Yeah.
There's no digital involved. The only thing I've used digitally is for lettering and for adding maybe effects or zipatone or something. But I don't know. Did I ever tell you the story? A friend of ours, a friend of mine, somebody you know, probably you wouldn't call him a friend, but whatever, had gotten a copy of the Manga Studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, back in the day when you actually bought the box with
right,
the
when
CD
it was called
and
Manga Studio and not
exactly.
Click. Yeah.
And he gave me a copy of it and I loaded it on my computer, and at the time I was working on a book, and I used the Manga Studio and did an entire full page illustration based off of one I had already done hand drawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, you couldn't tell the difference. And I'm like, it took me 5 times longer to do it digitally than just simply sitting down and drawing it out. And then at that point, I just said, screw it, I'm just going to draw it.
But do you think also, though, that was probably because you were just like new to the computer? Like,
I know it was because I was new to it, but you could not, you literally could not tell the difference between what I had done digitally and what I had done hand drawn. And it was just a matter of time. Yeah. And I didn't have the time.
Isn't that crazy? It's so crazy.
I don't have the patience to do what you're doing. I would have gone screaming from the room by now. So
yeah, it takes a certain kind of mindset, I think, to sit here with like to move some lines around. Like it really, I will say that I think animation you really get used to delayed gratification. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna make a movie, and you're like, cool, and then but to actually do that is going to take you a long ass time, depending on how you do it.
Do you want to hear something funny?
No.
So the wife and I went and met up with the boy, and we went and saw Shang-Chi, which, by the way, they pronounced it Shang-Chi in the movie. I've always known it as Shang-Chi.
Yeah, me too.
But they pronounced it completely differently in the movie, and it just kept driving me nuts because that's not how in my head I have it. Well, right. Needless to say, we're sitting there, and there's a scene right after the first set of credits, and then there's an extra scene at the very, very end. So we're sitting there, we're watching the credits roll, and I'm thinking to myself, if I ever made Hero into animation and I did it myself, the credits would say written, drawn by Andrew Charper, and then that would be it. That would be all the credits needed.
You could just could we call you Andrew?
No. Don't do that.
Andrew.
We sat through the entire credits. There was a lot of freaking credits.
I bet.
The amount of people it takes to make one of these movies nowadays is crazy.
I heard the what do they call them? Like the cutscene, the last shot. I heard it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
No spoilers. Yeah. No spoilers.
No spoilers. We enjoyed the movie. That's all I'll say. We had fun, enjoyed it, and one of the weird things is, and anybody who's seen a preview knows this happens, but I am a big, huge scaredy cat when it comes to heights. If somebody asks me, they says, what is the scariest movie you have ever seen in your life? It's very simple. The scariest movie I've ever seen in my life is the one called The Walk. It's with Gordon Levitt, whatever his name. It's about the guy who tightrope walked between the Twin Towers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That movie, when I saw the preview in a theater, and it scared me to death. And I told my wife, under no circumstance was I going to go see that movie in a theater because it scared the ever-living. Just the preview scared the crap out of me. I later bought the movie, and my wife and I watched it at home together. And we are literally sitting together on the couch watching this movie on my TV. And I kept shaking. And there were times when I grabbed her arm, and there were times where I just had to pause the movie and say, I can't do, I got to get up. And she laughed her ass off. Well, because the movie is so realistic. And I'm not one that likes heights. It scared the ever-living crap out of me.
What? Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm getting to my point. Oh, you keep drawing and I'll get to my point. In Shang-Chi, in the movie, there's a fight scene that takes place on the bamboo outside of a building. You know, one of those bamboo scaffoldings. I can hear my wife in the background listening. She just yelled out scaffolding. And there were several moments in the movie where you look down. And we went and saw it in 3D.
Oh,
and during the whole entire fight scene, I have got the death grip on my wife's hand. and she knows why, and she knows why. And at the end of the movie, we go out to the car. We're in the car. We're getting ready to drive home. And she turns to me and says, I'm so proud of you, dear. You didn't scream once. I was like, yeah, I know. She's laughing in the living room because she could hear me. But there were moments, and like I said, we saw it in 3D because it just so happens that was the time we went to go see the movie, and that was the one that was playing. But oh my God, my heart almost stopped at least twice during the movie.
Okay, so here's my silly question.
Okay, go for it.
You just said that this was a movie that you had zero intention of ever seeing, or at least ever going into the movie to see because of the fear of heights.
Oh, I'm the Walk. Yes. When I saw the preview, I told my wife, "There's no way I'm going to see this movie in the theater."
In the theater, okay. Because that was my question.
Right.
Because you then follow up by your next sentence is, and then I bought it. And I'm
bought it.
Why would you buy it if it's something?
because it's like a Robert Zemeckis movie who makes good movies, and I like good movies, and it was a good movie. It's an excellent movie, but it's more than 50% of the movie, I am sitting on the edge of my seat, scared to frickin' death. If you guys have never seen this movie, The Walk, there's literally a point where he walks out on the tightrope between the two buildings and then lays down on the... And, oh my heart stops every time I see that. It scares the ever-living crap out of me.
I mean, that's probably why they shot it that way too, because the fear of heights is a very common.
Well, it's
thing.
not there. All of it was digital. All of it was made up. It was all movie magic, but it was so realistic that it's.
Flint says there's a VR version of The Walk. I note down to that twice as hard. Because of course there's a VR version of The Walk. Like, how can we scare the crap out of people even more? Let's put them on. let's put them on the actual tightrope.
Todd, he literally lays down on the tightrope, and there's birds flying over, and I'm.
I can't do that. I also have a height thing.
Tucker says they made a VR version. Are they Satan? Yes.
At least Satan has some decency.
And here's the funny thing. I did not know that I had such an extreme fear of heights until I saw that movie. Because I've honestly never really gone. I mean, I've been to New York, and we went in the New York Times building, and we were up really high looking at that. Didn't scare me. I didn't like it, but it didn't scare me. This movie, sitting in my own living room, freaked me the hell out. And there were a couple of quick scenes in Shang-Chi that did the same thing, but I was man enough to not scream. So my wife says.
To not scream.
But if you haven't and you're on the fence, go see the movie. It was entertaining. I had
so my takeaway is that Shang-Chi is absolutely terrifying.
It's two very quick scenes where, I mean, the entire fight scene, you see it happening, but there's a couple of moments where the characters look down, and that's where my heart stops. So. Yes, I'm a big old wuss. I admit it. I'm afraid of heights, and I'm a 15-year-old girl. I will admit it to everybody here.
That is okay.
Yeah, scared the hell out of me.
The
funny part is I still own The Walk. I still have it somewhere. I haven't watched it again since that first time. But
you bought it and you've watched it once.
Yeah, well, it's on my Vudu, so I mean, you could watch it if you wanted to.
Oh, okay. I mean, not that we do that.
Andrew. You used to.
Shush! This is being recorded.
I gave you access to my account.
Oh my God! You just don't get it.
I wasn't going to tell anybody my password. I mean, come on.
No. We do not condone any illegal activity.
It's not illegal to share your digital library with somebody else.
Is it not?
No.
Oh, well, then screw it.
I paid for the movie. I bought the digital code. Who I shared with is... Yeah. It's not that I downloaded it illegally. Come on.
No, I know you paid for it. I just didn't know you could actually share it.
I've been sharing my movies with you for years.
I didn't know it was like legal. That's awful.
Hell, between my family, we only have one Disney Plus account, and I share it with everybody.
Yeah. How many people can you share it with? I guess it's unlimited.
No, I think there is a limit. I think it's 4 or 5, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But my mother has a copy. My daughter has a copy. My sister has a copy. So there's at least 4 that watch it.
I know watching some rando dude on the internet pulling lines is like super fascinating.
Well, that's why I'm here to entertain everybody.
It's true. I'm just sitting here. I'm realizing, yeah, we're gonna do draw stream. And I'm like pulling lines and just like being anal about this. What you guys are watching is quite literally how animation is done. Like this is the exact. I mean, this when I was thinking, oh God, look at that. That's what happens when I talk. It's the exact same way that we do all the animation stuff.
Tucker says, sounds like Shang-Chi is going to be nominated for Horror of the Year. Nothing ever scares me at all like The Walk. Shang-Chi wasn't scary, but it had that moment.
I like how now everyone thinks The Walk is Shang-Chi. So it's like, yeah, Shang-Chi,
confusing.
he like walks and it's really scary.
You know, somebody out there is going to go actually look up The Walk and actually watch it, and they're going to agree with me 100%.
It sounds like it actually sounds pretty terrifying.
Carrot says, "Is this going to be a character for adult fantasy?"
100%.
Ruby Thursday says, "I'm not so afraid of heights. Oh dear."
Yeah, so all these characters are going to be that I'm going to share over the next several weeks. And probably beyond, to be honest with you, is all adult fantasy stuff.
The speed you draw.
Yeah.
How many characters are you working on? Can you tell us that?
Well, that's actually, you know what? That is not, we haven't announced it, but I think I'll go ahead and tell you.
Okay.
There will be 25.
25. Okay. That's
a
good round number.
Yep. 25. And we have something very, very special. Well, I can even tell you this too. We, because we announced that we have the technology to make the cases. So everyone, I think you guys have seen the promo video. If not, it's on Discord. But we have the technology to make the cases. How can I say this? I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I know Flint is right there, and Melissa. So we've invented grading technology. So if you guys know or have a background, if you've ever seen like collectible cards or graded comics or graded coins, I mean, if you're into Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or comics like we are, you can get a card or a comic graded. So what we did is actually Flint invented new technology that actually allows us to do that with NFTs. So even though there'll be 25 different characters, but they'll all be cased in a case digitally, right? So just like what you saw in the promo video, a couple of different tweaks that we didn't reveal, but they'll be more similar than dissimilar from the video. And then there will be a couple of other factors that we haven't revealed yet that will make make everything independently different. Okay, so I'll give that to you, and I know that's super cryptic, but I'm trying not to, because I just want to talk about it, but I can't yet. Does that make sense, Andrew? Did that make any kind of logic? Because I know you totally know all that stuff.
So, and to answer your question, 25 characters.
Yes. Exactly.
Which at the speed that he draws these characters, we will probably see the 25th one.
Son of a bitch.
By the time, some of the children in the family are going to college.
No. This is launching in October. Specific date TBD, but we are almost there.
Okay.
I may look 30 years older from lack of sleep, but
yeah, I was going to make fun of your graying nostril hairs, but I decided not to give you a little bit of respect.
I have gray nostril hairs. We can't see those.
You got a really good camera on your face, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Mine's a little blurry, so
I appreciate that a lot. That's really nice.
all my stuff
That's
gets
really
blurred.
nice. It's really great.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you invite friends to a stream. I mean, he's actually being very gentle with me tonight, and I really appreciate it because I am merciless on his.
I have a story that I'm going to share with you all on my stream this Friday.
Okay.
And no, it's definitely from my stream. But I recently had something remind me of this incident that happened to me when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where you know this as well as I do. When you experience something in your youth, you remember in your head what happened. And the more you think about it, the more you realize there were small details that you forgot, that you excluded. And it's always a funny thing when you and I are sharing stories from when we were younger and you have a different perspective than I do in remembering the same damn stories. But this one, it's all mine. So
it's just an Andrew story.
It's just an Andrew story. But I started to think about it in the fact that there were other pieces of the story that I had forgotten about, because I remember the details of what happened, but I forgot the reason why some of the things happened. And I can't wait to tell you the story and share it with you. And
now, wait, this is an Andrew story that I don't know?
It's an Andrew story that you do not know. It's an Andrew story that I have never revealed to anyone ever.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what we call that. That's what in the pro biz, that's what we call a tease.
It's one of those extremely embarrassing stories that if I was a smart person, I would never, ever, ever reveal it. But hey, you know me.
Did it involve me throwing a dart into your chest?
No. It involves me taking a crap in my pants.
Oh my God, dude.
Yes. Trust me. Trust me.
Highbrow entertainment, everybody. Welcome.
It gets worse.
Oh,
But yeah, I'll share that story with you on Friday.
Great.
This is also my way of telling Todd, hey, just a reminder, remind me to bring this story up.
Yeah.
Because I might forget. And I don't want to forget because it's a really bad story.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested, I have no problem putting Andrew's link in our Discord if he wants me to, and if you guys want to see it. I don't know. Now that you know what it's going to be about, I don't know if anybody...
Well, that's not going to be the entire stream. We talk about comics and we talk about,
Melissa's shaking her head. I can't see her, but she says, "Oh dear," in the chat, Ruby Thursday, and I can visualize her.
You guys, I want to tell you a story. This might embarrass Todd a little bit, but there was a time when he and I were in our youth, and if you are a comic book fan from the 80s and the 90s, there was this thing called what was the name of it?
I have no idea.
World's Greatest Comic Artist or something. It was a VHS video series.
Oh, it was
by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And in it he interviewed a bunch of different artists.
It was the Starber videos.
Yeah, and it was Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and so forth. And they made a series of videos where they did interviews with these guys and they showed off some of their craft and so forth. And at the time, we loved that crap. We thought that was the greatest thing ever. So we decided to make our own videos. And Todd and I began the process on one crazy, stupid night that he spent the night at my house. Back in the day when it was really cool to go to your friend's house and spend the night. We did a lot of that. He slept in his own on the floor. He didn't sleep in my bed, just so you all know. But we made a video. And what's so funny about this video is that we combined different interviews from different points in our stages in our life, pretty much. It was literally from the end of high school through the beginning of college and beyond. And it was maybe, it included, I mean, all the way up to the time you were on the Jesse Raphael show, remember?
No, it was Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones, yeah, whatever. So I mean, it included a lot of stuff, and it was stories and us talking and acting like complete and utter idiots. Todd's wonderful wife, Ruby Thursday, actually had to sit down and watch the video with us one time. So she knows how utterly stupid it is, and she's still married to the guy. So I mean, I'm amazed. I am utterly amazed.
Everybody's yes. So there. How do I explain this one? So there was long story short, I was in college, and
there's no way I could do that. Long story short, it
I
just
know.
doesn't
No,
happen.
well, you're a storyteller. You're a genuine storyteller.
Yeah. So keep going.
So I was in college, and I got a call from my mother, and she says, "How do you want to, do you want to go to Chicago?" I was like, "Sure. Why?" And she said, "Well, my sister at the time was in high school and still living with my mom, and they were, she was a teenager. She was having problems with her, and I guess they had an argument the night before, and my mom woke up the next morning and was still like royally pissed at my sister, like still really upset. And so as she was getting dressed for work, it was the Jenny Jones show. And, there was like the birth. If you guys don't know Jenny Jones, it's like Jerry Springer, except not as bad, I guess. The birth of reality television. So the commercial, they used to have bumpers before they would go to commercial where they would advertise, "Hey, are you this or that? Well, give us a call." And they had one that was, "Is your daughter," I don't think they said, "Is your daughter a slut?" I think they said, "Does your daughter dress too sexy?"
Dress like a slut, maybe.
No, I don't think they used the word slut. It was, "Does your daughter dress too sexy?" And so my mother, who was still pissed off at my sister, called them and said, "Yeah, my daughter dresses too sexy," and didn't think of too much. She goes out, she's cavorting with older men, like basically completely fabricated a total story. Like none of it was true.
Utterly.
My sister at the time was like a straight A student and like had like perfect SATs, like all this kind of stuff. But my mom just fabricated this whole thing and then hung up the phone, had expressed herself and felt better, right? And they didn't think anything of it and went to work. Well, when she comes back that evening, there was a message on the answering machine from a producer of the show. And and the producer's like, "Yeah, do you have pictures of your daughter? We'd really like to see pictures of your daughter and how she dresses." And so,
in today's age, that leads to a whole different ball of trouble,
Yeah, I know. And so, so my mother, like my sister comes home and my mom has to explain everything. And I'm sure there was like a mom, any kind of like, there was some kind of discussion. Some kind of discussion was had. And, they went to Target and got a bunch of they just got into it and they went to Target and my sister was creative enough to she didn't have any risque outfits. So they made it. Like they just cut up stockings or something. Like she had a way of taking a pair of leggings and cutting the feet off and then cutting the crotch out and using that as a tank, like a top, like a sheer top.
Yes.
And she looked good. She was a good looking girl. So she could pull it off.
A little skinny for my taste.
I tried, but it just doesn't look good on me. But no. And so they sent the pictures in and they were like, "Yeah, we want to fly you out." So I get this call saying, "Hey, do you want to go to Chicago?" And so we flew out and we did the show. I'll make you a deal. Okay, I'll make you guys a deal. If the launch goes well, and you guys are cool with it, and you really give a crap, I will post it so you guys can make fun of me for it. Because,
do you have a copy of it somewhere?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
By the way, what did your dad think of all this stuff?
I don't know if he actually knows.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Flint, who Flint and everyone knows my family here. So so Melissa, Flint, Paco, if you hear this later, Flint's seen it. I showed Flint. Yeah, he says he's seen the episode. It's incredible. So funny. Yeah.
Now, was the time we watched the video, we shared that it was Ayla, me, you, and Melissa. That was the first time she had seen that?
Melissa?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
No. I learned a long time ago that specifically that is something that you share with someone while you're dating them, to see if you show that to them and to someone you're dating and they're still there by the end, like they're not like, oh, I have to go. You found a keeper. So
yeah.
So she thought it was.
Do you know what we used to use as a test in our family?
See, this is where you're opening yourself up to jokes, and I'm going to be really good. And I'm not going to say a pregnancy test. My sister
would invite them to family dinner on Sunday night.
Oh.
And if they stuck around after that, they might be okay.
Then they were okay. I could see that.
But there were a few that stuck around that.
Yes.
So.
There were a few that stuck around that shouldn't have.
And well, they're all long gone, so we're all happy about that. Ruby Thursday says, nope. Yes, I remember it being a test. He showed it to me before I met his mother and sister. Oh my God.
Look, I feel like it is the right thing to do. You're like,
yes,
here's what you're getting into. Here's what you're getting into. You got to just know, like,
No, I introduced my girlfriend, future wife, to my parents the very first night we went out. So
that's awesome.
She has no excuse. She met the crazy ass people.
Oh my God.
Well in advance.
All right. So I got a question for you guys. So we've been going for about an hour. You guys having fun? Is this worth it? You guys enjoying yourselves?
Yeah, you just got to start going a little faster, man.
I'll blow you. Yeah, thanks. Feel my pain. Feel it.
See, now what you need to do is you need to clip this part of the video out and do a speed video.
That's right.
Like speed it up like 10 times.
That's right.
So that people can watch the video just of you doing the drawing at a faster speed. So,
and then I can say it's in real time.
They join the live stream for my stories, and then they can watch the video of your art later.
That's true. That's right. That's right.
Y'all, just so y'all know, Todd and I have known each other so long that we have not even scratched the surface of some of the stories that we have about each other.
Oh man. Yeah. It's
You may have heard him mention the dart incident early on. We have a dart story that changed people's lives. It's a good one. There's a video on my channel of the dart story where we talk about it. So I mean, it's out there.
Yeah,
we can definitely tell you. Oh, it's a great story.
We got to get your setup going. Once you get your setup, your full setup hooked up, we can do like a full drawing stream too, so we can.
Well, see, what you would
your
have
stuff
to
is
do.
fantastic. For those that don't know, like Andrew's work is awesome.
What you would have to do is, instead of sharing your screen, you would change your picture to your camera. But you.
Oh, like actually show it this way.
Yeah, I don't know. You would have to put this image on your, not a sharing the screen.
Yeah, I gotcha. We could try that.
Yeah, well,
I bet you this camera might show it pretty well. Yeah, it's only weird because it's like a shared screen thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can only do one shared screen at a time. So,
well, let's say this. We'll go another 10 minutes, and I mean, obviously, I'm going to be up all night, and I don't want to keep everybody up all night.
Well, what you need to do then is continue recording what you're working on. That way you can add it to the video of your work.
Why would you do that?
If you stop the stream, it stops recording.
No, it's fine. I don't need to.
I'm just saying, if you want to give people the full experience, you need to continue recording what you're doing. Do you have what's that application that OBS?
Yeah. So the reason this is not on OBS, I have, and maybe somebody can help me out. Like, I have done every single tutorial. I have tried multiple times. I've tried every setting. I've gone from, and I've got a pretty, I think the problem is that I have a Mac. I don't think OBS likes Macs, because I could be wrong, but like no matter what setting I put in OBS, whether it's a high frame rate or a low frame rate, and I'm not, I know video pretty well, enough to like know that I don't think it's me, but no matter what frame rate and what computation like system I put in there, anytime I get a render, it drops frames.
Right.
It just drops frames. Like I cannot figure it out. So I was like, I've tried so much.
If you record your screen using OBS and then you speed up the video, if you drop screens, it's not going to make that big of a difference. Yeah.
Or I see what you're saying. I mean, I could edit it in something else. Like I use, I use everything from Premiere to,
right.
What is it? It's ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow.
Well, I'm just saying, you'd be cheating your viewers.
You're just if
you did work that wasn't recorded.
What you're doing,
cheating your viewers by eliminating
everybody,
that.
Just so that everybody understands what Andrew is doing right now. He is trying to box me in because he knows that he understands this well enough to know that based on my speed I've got like another few hours of drawing this guy, and so he's trying to force me into staying up all night so that I
no. I'm not going to force you. What I'm saying is, if you're working, you need to be recording it. You don't have to broadcast it in a live stream, but the more work you do where you're not recording it is less content for your channel and for your viewers. You should be anytime you're working, you should be recording it. Whether you broadcast it or let it out there, you need to record everything you're doing.
That is not actually a bad idea. I'll have to ask everybody, see what they want, because I don't know if it's like super, like if people actually.
I am so glad that comment got out on the live stream so I can clip it later.
What's that?
The fact that you agreed.
And I said that you're right. Yeah. It doesn't happen often.
Doesn't happen often. I want to cherish it. I want to keep it. I want to hold it. I want to cradle it like a little baby.
Now it's just you're just getting this too late, Andrew.
Yeah, obviously I need to go to bed.
All right. Well, how's this? What do you guys think? Did you guys have fun tonight so far? I got Mayo's laughing. That's good. Hey, we got a lot of laughter. I like laughter. Laughter's good.
Yep.
Right on. All right. So what we'll do is we'll call it. Let me save this so that I don't have to do it over again. I'm glad you guys could join us. We're going to be doing this a lot more. So if you guys Flint says, Mayo says, absolutely. Thank you, Mayo. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming out. I really appreciate that. Flint says, yes, but I'm biased. Jen says, Drew's a businessman. He is. He is, absolutely. Ruby says, yes, but I as well need sleep. Yes, I know. Melissa's been up. She is also kicking ass on this, and as is Flint, and Ruby has her live stream coming up at 8 a.m. So that's a lot. That's a big tall order. And we'll post that in Discord as well so that everybody has access to it. Cool. So we'll call it a night. Thank you for this first live stream, everybody, for attending. Andrew, thank you so much for joining, and everybody in chat. Thank you guys for everything. We're really doing everything we can to do something different. Lots of content, lots of original stuff. I know there's some amazing projects out there, but I think we have what it takes to be in the top 5, top 10 for sure. And we're going to do everything we can to prove it to you and to make you guys proud to own one of these pieces. So you see, I hope you can see the love and attention we put into it, because I'm anal as I'm not going to cuss. All get out. I'm anal as all get out with the artwork. It's got to be perfect. So. All right, guys. Love you all. I will see you guys on Discord, and we'll talk to you soon. And tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern, Melissa's going live with her coding. That'll be the next thing going on, and I will hope to see you there as well. Thank you all. Flint says, great stream. Chris says, thanks for sharing and good luck. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, man. Hope to see you again. We're going to do this hopefully every week. So, all right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Cool.